Welcome to Life Transformation Radio. This show is all about life transformations and our journey from where we were to why we are doing what we are doing today. We will discuss the hiccups, the roller coasters, and the blood, sweat, and tears that has been poured out while discovering our purpose. It is all about our transformations. Here is your host, Sean Douglas.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Life Transformation Radio. I am your host, Master Resilience Implementer, TEDx speaker, business positioning strategist, and international best-selling author, Sean Douglas. This show is currently heard in over 79 countries. So whether it's your first time joining us or you've been listening to us for some time, I want to thank you to those who are listening from around the world. Life Transformation Radio is all about our transformation. Here, we tell the stories of why we're doing what we're doing. We highlight that transformational moment that changed our lives and how we use it to then transform others and elevate their lives as well. You can listen to us live right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network, Tuesday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can go to www.blogtalkradio.com/Life Transformation Radio, and you can listen to us live. You can also join our Facebook group, Life Transformation Radio Community, and never miss an episode by subscribing wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. Life Transformation Radio can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Player FM, Radio Public, Overcast, Castbox, Himalaya app, the Google Play Music app, Pandora, and is available at our YouTube channel, Life Transformation Radio. So subscribe, rate, and review the show, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. On the show, my guests are entrepreneurs, speakers, business owners, coaches, podcasters, authors, amazing human beings that are impacting the world around them. And my guest today does exactly that. If you have any questions for any of the guests that I bring on the show during our live broadcast, you can call us up at 657-383-1109. Again, the number is 657-383-1109. And with that, please help me welcome to the show my guest for today, Lori Baird. Lori, welcome to Life Transformation Radio.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, Sean, sharing with you. I love your energy.
So we've been friends for some time. We met on social media, just like everywhere else. You're a speaker and an author, so talk about that.
I just love this awakening that I had, and it's the awakening I want every individual I come in contact with to experience too. Feeling unworthy, coming from a household where divorce, and I was always wondering, why? Why did one of our parents left? Wasn't I worthy enough to this person to stay for me to feel loved? And then I just grew up into this being, went on with life, going through the motions until I went to school for what I am doing right now. I'm a life coach, and I also do clinical hypnosis. And I was challenged to write a book, and I've always wanted to write a book. And that is basically how everything happened, just having an awakening,
Wow.
Understanding my worth and my value. Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple, not many. I've had, I don't know, maybe 2, maybe 3 people on the show in, 300 and some odd episodes that have talked about the hypnosis and what you can do to kind of overcome the traumas of the past or current situations or programming. You can always reprogram your mind. So I'm excited to continue these types of conversations because they seem to be really, really interesting based on the person that does it and their standpoint and all that. So the title of this episode is Steadfast-Forward into Greatness with hypnosis practitioner Lori Baird. She is a professional speaker, an author, and a facilitator. As a certified clinical hypnosis practitioner through the American Council of Hypnotist Examiners, certified life coach, Lori has always sought to share the richness of her own life experiences with aspiring professionals. Lori works with clients in both English and Spanish and also speaks the language of the heart while intuitively connecting with her audience for them to find answers from within so that they can confidently step steadfast forward into their greatness. Lori's Steadfast-Forward method is a unique approach that cuts through the destructive self-sabotage thought processing patterns to become one's own best friend and ally. She is passionate about conveying the power of the mind to rapidly transform individuals, teams, and organizations to improve performance by way of aligning their personal life. She assists corporations in educating their employees about the language of the subconscious mind to be used for quick, instantaneous manifestations to achieve goals. She has developed a unique coaching process that focuses on identifying specific issues, dissolving resistance, and achieving self-confidence, therefore producing more results for optimal future. She speaks at business networking groups, Lions clubs, Rotary clubs, schools, and women's groups. For more than 10 years, Lori has offered leadership trainings for the Boy Scouts of America and has offered corporate trainings such as the Marriott property hotel staff. To learn more about her and to book her to speak at your event, go to Lori, Lori, Baird, BEARD.com. And her Facebook and LinkedIn links are right there in the show notes. Connect with her and let her know that you listened to the episode of Life Transformation Radio. Lori, the first question that I have to ask, and I believe is the most important question you could ask, is why? Why do you do what you do?
I love it. So like I said, growing up in this household where I love men, I have 6 boys myself. I've been married for more than 26 years. But the men in my life as a young child were addictive. We're addicted to sex or smoking or alcohol or living a horrible life and made the women in my life that I loved and looked up for miserable and sad and depressed and also wonder about their value. So I grew up like this, wondering what kind of thing, what is it that affects these humans to behave this way? And I always was observant of human behavior. And if that was somebody that did it to destroy themselves, or if it was something like that they used their behavior to progress. She was a fighter, and I'm like, wow, she rose from this. And that always intrigued me about the human mind. So I got married very young. I was 20 and started having babies. Like I said, I have 8 kids, 6 boys, 6 of those are boys. But also observing kind of addictive behaviors in my own children. And then when my youngest went to school, I started looking around, what is it that I'm going to go study and do with the rest of my life, because my identity was, only being a mother in the later years. So when I was being oriented, having this orientation to go through this online school, and they told me hypnosis, I thought, I can help people. I can help people with this unresolved issues and subconscious issues that lead them and drive them to behave the way they behave that is so destructive. And it's harmed my family so much. So I guess that inspired me and helped me look into hypnosis. So it's been fascinating and transforming for myself and also what I do for others. It's just amazing. And I can, you said that you've had guests that's done hypnosis. If I need to explain it a little bit right now, again, for anybody listening for the first time, I'll be happy to.
Love it. I love your tenacity. I love the encouragement, the empowerment. I was just thinking, like, how hard was that process? We all come from different backgrounds and different situations, but it's all the same. Resilience is all the same. Tenacity and your intensity to be like, I got to do this. Like, this is what needs to happen, and then go all the way in. I love that. And anybody that could do that, I'm like, yes, and I'm rooting for them all the time. I don't like to do anything halfway, but I also understand that not everybody's built the same way, but resilience never changes. Either you do or you don't. And I love the fact that you're like, I found this, I did this, and and I'm loving it, so that makes me happy.
Absolutely.
So,
yes, it's just amazing.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What do you think is the best part about, because when I think of hypnosis, I think everybody's the same way. You think of the magician, drop a pocket watch and try to hypnotize somebody and make them do funny stuff. And I just want to break that myth. I do that with every guest that I have. There's always a myth about either a career path they've chosen or something. So the myths, right? Break some of the myths. It's not just let's hypnotize somebody and make them do funny stuff, right? I mean, there's an actual scientific study for hypnosis.
Wonderful. So the myth that I'd like to break around that is that the person doing it, the person performing or doing the hypnosis doesn't have any control over you. They're prepared and they're an expert and they can guide you through the process. But every hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And we can spend some time in just that myth, explaining it better. But every hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So that's the first one I want to talk about.
Because I've seen some people, there's one guy in particular, his name is Marshall Silver. And he's supposedly the world's leading hypnosis, hypnotist or whatever you call it. But I've seen his shows. He's in Vegas, and he's like, you're not going to be able to pull your hands apart. I'm going to hypnotize you. You can't pull your hands apart. These guys are on stage trying to pull their hands apart. I'm like, really? I'm like, is he a plant? Like, everybody's always got these conspiracy theories. Like, no, he's planted in the audience. It's really not happening. Right? So there's with everything, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it.
Right?
So, yeah, just talk about that.
Well, if you're standing there with this famous person, right, and you want to be there, and it's kind of like the placebo effect, right? If you believe in it, it's going to work. If you don't, it's not going to work. So if you're standing there in front of this person and you are trusting him and you're going to allow for him to guide you in this process, then, again, every hypnosis is self-hypnosis in the terms of if he's saying you're going to shut your hands, in a way that you're not going to be able to open them, then you're allowing him to do that. So it's kind of like a volunteer. It's voluntarily. Am I saying that right? So,
yeah.
We hypnotize ourselves every morning or every time. If you have health issues, if you have weight issues, if you feel like you're clumsy or you're not good enough, it's because most likely for years and years and years with your thought processing patterns, you've allowed yourself to believe that. And okay, I'm overweight, or I'm scared, especially with phobias. So those ideas, you have been the one nurturing them, for good or for bad. And if you're on stage with this person and you're trusting this person and you're allowing this person to perform this on, with you on you, yes, if you allow it, if you have an open mind for it, mm-hmm. It's going to have that effect, and of course, you're going to do what this person is saying, right? It's still guided, it's still an external force, but that is to show you, Sean, how important it is how important those external voices and forces and influences are in our lives. So, yep.
Very cool.
So what I do is I help
cool.
reprogram that to the opposite, to cause the opposite effect and bring different new positive outcomes. And mine is clinical hypnosis, so it's a little bit different.
Very cool. Yeah, I like that. But I think it's important that we establish the credibility and authority that you have inside of this industry, because just like somebody says, oh, well, I'm a magician, or my buddy's I forgot what he calls himself, but he doesn't really like a magician, like they call it something else, but he's like, oh yeah, there's all these myths and all this stuff that, I just went to a magic shop and got a bunch of, trickery or, whatever, there's actually an art to it. There's actually a science to it, and I think that it's great that we established that. What would be the transformational moment in your life that put you on the path to what you're doing today? I don't believe that anything is by accident. Everything happens for a reason. So the whole focus of the show is that one moment in time where you were going straight and then you veered left or right, or you zigged instead of zagged. What was that transformational moment that happened to you that changed your life and put you on the path to what you're doing today? Lily, are you still with us?
Yes. Can you repeat the question?
Oh.
There was something happening in the connection.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So what I was asking was, what is that transformational moment that has changed your life, which then puts you on the path to what you're doing today?
Wow, that's a great question. Going back to my childhood, when I thought I was not worthy or not good enough, and I was giving this negative experience so much power, when through all this homework, and it takes time and it takes work for you to do this emotional purging, right? Like we're on spring, so spring cleaning is kind of like an inside spring cleaning. When I realized that I was giving this negative experience and other negative experience, I haven't gone into a lot of details, but when I decided to let go of that and stop giving that so much power, I looked at it on the other side of the equation. I looked at the other half of the person, and I talk about divorce because it's such a common thing, right? So growing up in a divorce household is super common nowadays, and hey, you got to just move on, accept it, and live with it. It still creates an impact in someone's life if you've gone through it. And in my situation, it was me. I gave the negative aspect of it so much power. When I took away that power and I recovered it and I reclaimed it, oh my goodness, it made such a big difference. When I acknowledged the good, when I looked for the good, when I gave my mother then the power, okay, she stayed, she fought for us, she provided for us, she was loyal to us, and forgot, hey, I'm going to let go of this resentment and these angers. When I released, removed, and resolved that and reframed it, oh my goodness, it made a huge difference. It was a great breakthrough.
Perfect. I like that. I just don't believe that anything that at all in life just happenstance. Every single moment, every situation happens for a reason. Every single one. And if we can capitalize on those transformational, some of the greatest moments have come from those transformational moments. Mothers Against Drunk Driving was started because the person's daughter was killed by a drunk driver. I had the founder of the Make-A-Wish Foundation on this show back in season 1, back in 2017. He came on the show, and Frank Shankowitz talked about how he granted a wish to a boy, and it touched the lives of all of the officers. He was a highway patrolman, and back in the 70s. And they've actually made a movie about it called Wish Man. And you can watch it on Netflix, wow. And it's a very, very amazing movie. Well, when I was talking, the movie was in production. Like they were trying to, get it going. And they were kind of just doing the screenplay, and he told me the story behind the story. It was that, he helped a boy who was super sick, and this is where it came from, that it meant so much to him, it meant so much to the officers and the community, whatever, that he started granting other wishes, and then other people heard about it, and then it became a thing, and then it said Make-A-Wish, and that's how it got started. And I love the beginnings of how everything begins. I love the beginnings, that one moment of time. So I really appreciate you sharing that. How have you taken your transformational moment and used it to elevate the world around you?
Yes, we all have choices, and as you have described with these people that you have mentioned, right, turning something sad, something horrible, and after some time of grieving, right, we all need to give ourselves time to grieve the loss or whatever. We need to decide to become bitter or better, right? And I just do that. I allow for negative experiences to make me a better person instead of why me. What can I learn from this? And I have taken that, and it's made me more empathetic with my clients, for example, and it's helped me understand where they come from a little bit. All of our circumstances and problems are different, but the negative experiences in my life they fuel me. They fuel me to become a better person and to learn those lessons that otherwise we would not learn. And I take that and I feel the energy. I feel like, okay, I'm going to do this better. And, seeing the pattern in my family, aunts and my own dad and all that, I said at some point in my life, when I get married, I'm going to get married for good. I'm going to break this cycle of divorce. So it helped me be determined and live my life more purposeful, live my life knowing that I'm going to do my best and I'm going to give it the all, like you said earlier. Yeah, there's a tenacity within me and this energy that propels me to become a better person and to constantly develop personally. And that personal growth, it's always, and I'm always reading a book, watching a movie, since you mentioned a movie, to be better and provide that value to my clients and to my speaking engagements, etc. So that is how it
Very
helps
cool.
me.
Yeah. And you said about divorce too, and it seems, like you said before, pretty common. I mean, I was raised, me and my sisters, we were raised in a divorced household. My mom remarried, and that was a whole other slew of problems. But it seems like the statistic, and it seems just the way it's going. I can't name too many people that I hang out with that are married for, many, many, many years, or especially being military guy, a lot of my veteran friends, they've had 2 or 3 marriages, so when you're working with your clients, maybe there's a pattern, or is that what you help with? Is breaking
Absolutely.
those thought patterns or breaking those stigmas?
Yes, and with my method, the method I created, which is it's the 7 R's method, or the Steadfast-Forward method. And if we live upon those principles, the 7 simple steps, simple yet profound, it's removing emotional burdens and resolving internal conflict, releasing negativity and reframing those sabotaging perceptions. When we do that and replace with positive, then restore our meaningful relationships, and we can rewrite our story. So then, boom, I just gave you my 7 R's method. But when that's what helped me, and that was the pattern that helped me the first couple of years, realize, hey, there's a pattern here. And when I teach them to do this, and when I teach them to resolve that anger or resentment and replace it with something better during the hypnosis, which is, everything that I do is metaphorical, and the subconscious mind is so naive that it absorbs everything and it helps reprogram that mind. Oh, my goodness, it makes a big difference, huge difference. So, yes, I found like a pattern, and it's those steps that help them step into their greatness.
Love it. Love it. So talk about that. Have you defined what that looks like? If someone's coming to you, have you defined throughout that process what that greatness looks like? Because for somebody, it might be, I want to be a great speaker. I want to be a great podcaster. I want to be a great husband, spouse, whatever. Typically, what do you see with like greatness?
Greatness is for them to experience personal joy and professional fulfillment. And to be more specific, is I get doctors, medical doctors, for example, that they do not. Sean, can you believe it? A doctor that saves lives every day, yet they don't feel successful because the internal mess they have going on, which it manifests in their personal life and with their relationships. So it doesn't matter if there's a professional that is successful, whatever success looks like, awards or recognition or whatever, yet they don't feel successful in their personal life. And vice versa. People that might be happy in their marriage, etc., but because of their unresolved, or with their loved ones, relationships, but because of unresolved issues, they cannot accomplish their professional peak, or they're in a job they don't like and they're not happy with, or they own a business that they're not performing well, their performance is not well because of their personal issues. So to me, that's what I see in greatness. Greatness to me is like success has a different definition for everybody. And when I say I help you step forward into your greatness, is that what is it that you want? Let's write that down, and let's draw a blueprint of it's an emotional blueprint that will help them. And with those steps, what is it that we need to release, resolve, remove, reframe, and once they're there, I mean, can I talk about what's happening in the world right now?
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
the pandemic and everything. So there's somebody right now going through her best breakthrough, because some people are going through now, which is super sad, losing their jobs, etc. This person went through this 9 months ago. 9 months ago, right? She came a couple of months ago. She was already 7 months into this horrible situation that happened. She got fired, and the way it happened, it was very unfair. Everything, it was kind of framed or set up for her to fail like this due to other people, mean people. And anyways, we've been working together. She's been doing amazing, helping her with the steps, helping her with hypnosis and get rid of all these feelings and resentment and anger that put her value in jeopardy too, thinking, okay, I'm horrible then, I'm lost. So right now, I was kind of worried about her because she's been doing some progress, right? But I was like, oh my goodness, everything, and she's redefining how she's going to move on professionally. Am I going to find a job, or am I going to go in business for myself? And if you know me, I think we know each other enough to know that I am an advocate for self-employment, for you to do your own business and for you to do your own thing.
Me
but she was considering going, right? We're rebels like that, right? But it's okay. I honor and respect if you are out there listening to this and work in corporate, hey, and you're happy, and that's the definition of your greatness, wonderful. But if you're not happy and you know you're capable of something else, this is what I define, how I define greatness. Pursue what you want and know that you have it in you. Know that you have it in you. So this person is just wanting to find what is it that she's going to do. And now she's seeing a direction, she's seeing a path. But then this corona thing happened, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, I'm a little bit worried. I'm like, how is she going to come to the next session? Maybe this is going to hit her, and she's going to kind of go backwards again a little bit, and it's okay. Mm-hmm. Even arrows need to go backwards, right? Do steps back to pick up momentum to hit the target, right? That's okay. And I was ready for whatever with this client to help her and hold space where she was at. But you know what? The last couple of weeks, she is kicking bottom. She's like, I am having my breakthroughs. I am so determined. I see a clear vision, and I know my path. And I was like, yes. So
Love
basically, she the realizations, the awareness, the subconscious work we've done has helped her be more conscious and live a life of purpose and meaning. And to me, that's greatness. Greatness means that you're going to find within yourself that you're capable of. You're going to be awakened and be ready to heed the call. We're all here on earth with a call to serve. And if we're not honoring specifically what is it that we're here to do, then we're not doing great. And you're being suppressed. So I am so glad, and it's not going to be a bowl of cherries from here on. Life is going to happen, but what I'm saying is that in a situation where the world and the external news and the external circumstances are not ideal right now, she is still, because of her mindset, because of that resilience that you love so much, right? She has strengthened that muscle. And doesn't matter what's happening out there, she's determined, and nothing's going to stop her now from the vision she has. And I love it to hear, I have a clear vision. I know my path right now. And to me, that's the definition of greatness.
I love it. Yeah, I have to have, for me, I have to have a burning in my gut, in my soul, for whatever I'm doing. I never want to just do something just for a paycheck, just to survive. I get asked all the time, at least a few times a day from people, what's the best way to make money, or what do you think it is that I should be doing, or how do I create something that I can do for myself, and it's the same answer. Monetize your passion.
Yep.
Monetize your passion. Turn your passion into profits. What is it that you love to do, and how can you scale it to get money? That's literally the foundation, and why every successful entrepreneur has failed a couple times before they found the one that worked. And I promise you, out of 340 some odd episodes of this show, that everyone that I've ever talked to about their why, they were in it to get rich, they were in it for a quick buck, but then it failed, and then they were unfulfilled, and it just sucked, and my life was sucked. And then we finally found something that I absolutely love to do, and I scaled it. It was amazing, and it's flourished, and right. So the good energy raises it up, and that's my message to everybody all the time. Like you said, whether it's corporate, whether you're an entrepreneur, I always advocate for starting your own business. What I want people to know is that it's what you want and what you're passionate about, not what society wants, and not people living in the reality of what others think about them. And a lot of people do that. They start a business because they want to look impressive in front of people. They're more worried about what their friends think than what they think about themselves. Or they have a spouse or some parents or somebody that's pushing them to do something with their life, and they're just going to choose something. And they're more worried about what other people think about them more than what they think about them. And it's just the wrong way to do it. And you'll never truly be happy and fulfilled until you live in the reality of what you think about yourself and step fully into the value that you actually are, your intrinsic value inside yourself. So I think you nailed it. I love what you said. I think you absolutely nailed it. Awesome. If somebody wanted to work with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you? What's the best way to start that process? What does that look like?
Absolutely. It's schedule.loribeard.com. Schedule.loribeard.com to call me for a 30-minute complimentary, meaning like free of charge meeting to know how I can help you. That's my Q&A session where I ask you questions, you ask me questions, we give each other answers and determine if you're going to be a good match, practitioner-client match. Right now I'm wanting to let everybody know virtual sessions are the bomb. They're great. I mean, I have my office, but everything happening now, even with my office, I've had wonderful, successful long-distance virtual meetings in Switzerland, Arizona. I'm from Dallas, right, Texas. So I've had successful meetings from New York, California, Oregon, Ohio, Europe. I mean, it's Spain the other day. So it's amazing what technology can allow us to do. So if you want to schedule a discovery session with me, schedule.loribeard.com. And then, of course, my website, Steadfast-Forward.com. And that's how you can find me. Also, LinkedIn or Facebook, too. Yep.
There you go. Love it. Hopefully in September, if we're all done with this stuff, hopefully I'll be speaking at an event in Dallas, Texas for Podcast Movement. And I've already submitted everything, and they're going through the planning stages. So hopefully in May, I'll find out that I'll be speaking and keynoting in Dallas in September at Podcast Movement, which is going to be amazing. So we shall see.
And we'll be able to shake hands. We'll be able to shake hands.
Right?
Yes. And get to meet, go to lunch or something. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get back to normal life and we can, figure all this out and, because, I mean, really, a lot of my business was predicated on live events. And when the live events, I had two of them that luckily were not canceled because it was in the beginning of March, like the first weekend of March. But I had an end of March gig canceled, 2 April gig cancels, and I think they're going to cancel the May one. They haven't really said, but I'm pretty sure they're going to because They've just extended everything for 30 days.
Right.
So pretty sure they're going to cancel the one in May. That'll be like 4 or 5 events, and it's just, I don't know. Wasn't really looking forward to that.
Leader,
However,
we've
got everything
leader,
online.
So you're gonna. Yes, you're a leader, so you're going to find innovative ways to do it, to be on stage anyways and shine. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely. So I'm hoping to. So we've done, all the work for that, for virtual summits, and I've always done podcasts anyways. I'm a guest on like 60 podcasts a year. Plus I have my own show, and so so the online space is there. But for those who haven't pivoted and are trying to figure out, what to do, everything's online now. Google just put out an analytic that the search tag for work from home has been 10x in the search. So there's always a couple thousand people looking for it. It's been 10x'd work from home. That search language has been 10x'd. So half the population of the world is searching for ways to work at home. So
that is wonderful.
Work from home, home-based businesses, all that. So MLMs are happy. Network marketing's happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. So, Lori, this has absolutely been an honor having you on the show. We've learned a lot of value in what you've given. At the end of the show, we always give a takeaway to the audience. So what is it you hope the audience does with this episode? What is it that you want the audience to know and understand if they listen to nothing else that we've said today?
Master your mindset. When you master your mindset, that is when you win. And it takes work, right? And it can get messy, like when you go to a store or a mall and they're reconstructing it and doing renovations. It says part on our progress. It takes for you to acknowledge, recognize that there's some work, that there's some renovations you need to do in your mindset. And all the answers are within. And some people need guidance, need a coach, a mentor, somebody, right. A consultant, somebody to help them. Go for it. Look and find that help. Find it because it's worth it to master your mind, master your mindset. That's what I want you to get out of this.
Got to be a master of your mind, master of meaning. I always say. So I have a clothing line called LYB Clothing Inc., and one of the shirts in there says, "Reframe your mind, reframe your life." Mm-hmm. And I firmly believe that if you just reframed the way you see the world, that it would absolutely unveil every single opportunity that is available to you. Some people say, "Oh no, I could never do that." Like Lori's crushing it. Like I could never do that. Instead of saying that, you could say, "How can I do that? How can I be as good as her? And she's crushing it with these results. How could I be right?" So there's one way of looking at it that goes, "Oh no, I'll never be a millionaire." Instead of asking the question, "How can I be a millionaire?" Instead of the mindset where, "No, I could never do that." The question is, "How can I do that?" So it opens up the mind from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And when you reframe your mind, you reframe your life. And I firmly believe that. So that's a great message. Become a master of your mind. Become a Jedi of the mind, if you will. Love it.
Yes.
Lori, this has absolutely been phenomenal. Yeah, go ahead.
When you align your mind, everything else falls into place. Sorry, that's just what I wanted to say, and that's by Lao Tzu. He's a philosopher, Lao Tzu.
Love it. And
Thank
you're absolutely
you
right.
for having me.
You're welcome. Absolutely. For those of you listening right now, she laid down a couple websites. Go to Lori, LORIRD, LoriBeard.com. Her LinkedIn and Facebook LinkedIn and Facebook links are in the show notes. Connect with her. Send her a friend request. Don't be creepy. I just let her know that you listened to the episode of Life Transformation Radio. Laura, this has absolutely been phenomenal. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome, Sean. Bye-bye. All the best to you and everybody.
You too. Life Transformation Radio listeners, an amazing guest impacting the world around her. If anything has resonated with the conversation between Laura and I today, please reach out to her, to myself, leave a rating and a review. Let us know what you thought of this episode. You can leave ratings and reviews on Stitcher, iTunes, anywhere podcasts are heard. Subscribe, leave a rating and review. It would mean the world to me and the group here at Life Transformation Radio. And with that, I close the show by saying, live your brand. Find opportunities every day to live out the core values that you hold deep in your heart. And I call this living your brand. So until next episode, live a great life.